HBO's expanding Westeros universe is set to spotlight one of House Targaryen's most revered yet tragic figures as a Knight of the Seven Kingdoms brings Baelor Targaryen to life in a story that blends chivalry, politics, and family tension. Adapted from the Dunk and Egg novellas by George R. R. Martin, the new series takes place nearly a century before the events of Game of Thrones and decades after the turmoil depicted in House of the Dragon. Please subscribe, like, and share for more updates. Thanks! While dragons no longer dominate the skies as they once did, the Targaryen dynasty still grapples with questions of succession, loyalty, and identity. At the center of the show is Ser Duncan the Tall, a humble hedge knight, and his young squire Egg, secretly Prince Aegon Targaryen, a royal who will one day become king. But looming above their journey is Prince Baelor Targaryen, better known to history as Baelor Breakspear. As the eldest son of King Daeron II, Baelor represents a future of the Iron Throne during the time in which the series is set. His reputation as a warrior and a statesman makes him one of the most admired princes in the realm. Baelor's nickname, Breakspear, reflects his prowess in combat, yet his greatest strength lies in his measured leadership. Unlike many of his more volatile relatives, Baelor is guided by pragmatism and fairness. He was born of political marriage between King Daeron II and Princess Maria Martell of Dorne, making him half Dornish. That heritage becomes a defining feature of his life, both strengthening the alliance between Dorne and the Iron Throne, and exposing him to prejudice from those who resent Dornish influence at court. The tension surrounding his lineage adds complexity to his portrayal in the series, offering audiences a layered look at a prince navigating identity and duty. The early episodes of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms are expected to closely follow the events of the Hedge Knight, the first Dunk and Egg novella. The Ashford Tourney serves as a dramatic backdrop, drawing knights and nobles from across the Seven Kingdoms. What begins as a display of pageantry and skill soon unravels into a confrontation involving Dunk and Prince Aegon Targaryen. When Dunk stands accused after defending a puppeteer from Aegon's cruelty, he invokes his right to a trial by combat. The situation threatens to erupt into a scandal that could stain the royal family's honor. Baelor steps into this volatile scenario as a voice of reason. His decision to support a lawful resolution, even when it means opposing members of his own house, underscores his deep respect for justice. Rather than dismissing Dunk as a low-born knight, Baelor recognizes the importance of upholding the realm's codes. In doing so, he demonstrates the qualities that have earned him admiration from both nobles and commoners. The trial by combat itself becomes one of the most pivotal sequences in the story. Baelor's participation carries enormous symbolic weight, the heir to the Iron Throne risking his life in defense of principle. The event not only tests his martial skill but also reveals a fragile balance within House Targaryen. The princes who stand on opposite sides of the conflict represent diverging visions for the future of the dynasty, one rooted in cruelty and unchecked pride, the other grounded in reform and unity. For longtime readers of Martin's work, Baelor's arc is known to be both heroic and heartbreaking. His fate at Ashford reshapes the line of succession and alters the trajectory of Targaryen history. The emotional consequences ripple outward, influencing the upbringing of his sons and the eventual reign of his younger brother's line. The show is expected to handle this turning point with gravity, emphasizing how a single moment at a tournament can change the destiny of a kingdom. Beyond the Ashford storyline, Baelor's presence in the series highlights a transitional era for Westeros. The dragons are gone, but their legacy lingers. Political marriages, regional alliances, and old grudges define the realm's fragile peace. Baelor embodies the possibility of a more stable monarchy, one capable of bridging divides between the Reach, the Stormlands, Dorne, and the Crown Lands. His leadership style contrasts sharply with the fiery excess often associated with the Targaryen name. Producers have hinted that A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms will lean into character-driven drama rather than large-scale spectacle. In that context, Baelor's complexity offers fertile ground for exploration. His relationship with his father, King Daeron II, reflects generational tensions about reform and tradition. His interactions with other princes, particularly the unpredictable Aegon, expose fractures within the royal family, and his quiet respect for Dunk illustrates a rare humility in a house often consumed by its own grandeur. As anticipation builds, fans see Baelor Targaryen as a bridge between eras in the Westeros saga. He is neither a dragon-conquering warlord nor a mad king spiraling into paranoia. Instead, he is a thoughtful heir trying to guide a wounded dynasty towards stability. His story in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms promises not only thrilling tournament sequences, but also a meditation on honor, sacrifice, and the heavy crown of expectation. In expanding the world first introduced in Game of Thrones, HBO appears poised to remind audiences that the Targaryen legacy is more than fire and blood. Through Baelor Breakspear, viewers will witness a prince who sought to rule not through fear, but through fairness, and whose tragic destiny may prove as unforgettable as any dragon's rule.